Hi, this is Wing Yi from the Yi Wilson Network. Thank you for attending and welcome to my title, The Great American Land Rush. No, I know what you're thinking. No, I am not promoting for you to buy land. I'm not promoting you to buy lots. Okay, I'm going to share with you the Great American Land Rush from a perspective as a turnkey buy in whole long-term investor and what type of methodology, what type of concept obviously you're going to buy moving forward for the foreseeable future. We talk about new construction. We're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how the builders, you follow the new builders as they are building new homes in certain areas of the US, ride the wave because builder, they do their research and due diligence. They will only spend the money, their vast amount of their financial resources to invest their money to build homes in a particular community. And most important criteria that they have is, are they going to make money, right? Are they going to make money? Are they going to get the return on their investment once they build those new construction homes, whether for owner-occupied buyers or real estate investors buying it for rental purposes, right? So it's a very, very unique phenomenon that's going on. The Great American Land Trust and how it affects our new construction investment market that we're promoting, especially here in Florida and Texas. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to, for the next 10 minutes or less, I'm going to go over the recent phenomenon and the trend that we are seeing. And you as a real estate investor, if you follow this trend, if you follow this path, you could be on your way to achieve pretty significant long-term real estate wealth through buying new construction homes. All right. So without further ado, let me share my screen. Just give me a moment. I'm going to have to look into my screen a little bit more because my eyes are not so bad. So, all right. So here we go. All right. So this article just is, by the way, is done by very recently done by John Burns Consulting. All right. Just want to share with you this kind of information come from his organization. Of course, there are a lot of other organizations and websites and research companies. They are following the similar trend. So there are four areas that we can talk about very briefly. And the first thing is there are four categories. One is number one, you think the land is easy? Well, not so fast. Number two is we can talk about briefly is home builders aren't the only ones feeling the pinch of rising land prices. And third, finished lot prices in the quote unquote boom markets and the quote unquote the new boom towns are booming. And lastly, buy land, they're not making it anymore. I think this term by land, they're not making it anymore, was mentioned, I believe, by Will Rogers back in about more than 100 years ago. So let's dive in to the details of each of the topics, each of the paragraph that I just mentioned. So think land is easy to find. It's not so easy to find. And the survey was made by this organization, John Burns Consulting, is that they are finding that there are labor shortages, right? Construction workers, acute shortages occurring over the U.S. and the pandemic logistics are extending the time and cost to deliver the lots in development, all right? And existing land pipelines are being depleted faster than the builder expected a sales rate increase with the expanded demand, right? So therefore, the builders from all over the US, they're able to build. It's very, very difficult to find the permit to build anyway, but there are many builders, they're competing for available land spaces to buy the land, to buy the lot, to build those new homes, all right? And see, in many markets, let me continue. In many markets, finished lots are in short supply or non-existent, and the competition is fierce. Recently, there were multiple bidders for a single lot release at one Southwestern master plan, and the lot sold for well above asking price. So, because of a lack of land and there are lack of the lot prices that are already in place at various communities throughout the US, they are very valuable. They are selling at above, the list price. So I'm sharing with you how the builders are trying to build. And you as investors, you are the recipient of what they're trying to do. Okay, I'll cover that momentarily later. So anyway, there you go. All right, and as a result, the last sentence of the paragraph, builders are increasing home prices over time. So that's good for you as a real investor, right? When you buy the new construction, your land costs will increase, therefore increasing the price of your homes moving forward. You're getting some walk-in equity, right? Walk-in sweat equity right from the get-go once you purchase the lot. Think about it. When you buy new construction, you're not really buying a house. You're really buying the lot. Okay, you're buying you're signing the contract for the price of the house. Don't get me wrong, but the earnest deposit you put in for the lot, you buying the land. You buying land the lot. You buying the lot from the builder for a few $1,000s deposit, because land by pure definition is speculative. But when a lot are being developed quickly in a fast rising area that have a good rental market, now that is the goal, right, for you as an investor. So it does not make it speculative anymore. It makes it more powerful because within a few months upon the completion of the house, your lot will become a house. Your house will become a rental property, a cash flowing, income producing property, which can achieve all the benefits associated with investing in a house, right? Cash flow, appreciation potential, tax benefits, hedge against inflation, right? Pay down or principal, and having your renter paying off your house for you over time, right? I'm just mentioning 5 fundamental or even 6 benefits of buying investment properties or buying real estate for long-term wealth. Does that make sense? All right, let's go on further. So, home builders aren't the only one that are feeling the pinch of rising land prices. As you know, I'm telling you that the lumber cost is getting higher because of the trade situation between us and Canada, and because of various economic and political reasons this is happening, because we're seeing population growth throughout the US, we're seeing job growth, and builders from all over the US are fighting against each other, compete against each other to try to buy land. And we are focusing, as an investor, you have to follow the builders that are buying in good areas that cash flow, right? There are not many areas in the US that are cash flow, right? For example, any kind of a housing that are west of the Mississippi, we're talking at least 50% of the US map are not cash flowing, right? So the areas of focus is south and southeast. That's the path of growth as a real estate investor. So does it make sense? So mainly we could focus on Florida and Texas because we feel all the preponderance of evidence indicates Florida and Texas is achieving significant job growth and population growth for a variety of reasons, which I have mentioned for a long time now, and especially now in the past 6 months, okay, and moving forward. Okay, let's proceed. So home builders aren't the only one that are feeling the pinch, and consumers are also, and let me see what they say. In some markets, builders are limiting lot releases because they are worried about running out of lot, and then home inventories is lacking. The builders do not want to sell too far ahead of the housing production. So as a result, builders are increasing home prices over time. So this is good for you as a buyer, as an investor. Okay, the third paragraph. Finished lot prices in the quote unquote boom markets and the new boom towns are booming. What I mean by boom markets and a new boom town, boom markets is sort of a, in my definition, right? In my opinion, boom markets are sort of a high level in a larger region, like within 100-mile radius of that area. We call it a boom market. Could be Central Florida, or it could be Southwest Florida, it could be Central Texas, could be the Dallas metro. That is a boom market. But small, what's the other word? The quote unquote the new boom towns, you're more, you're moving into defined areas. The new boom town, quote unquote, in my definition, are smaller metros, which incidentally, our people are moving to smaller metros due to social distancing and remote working from home and all the things that we've been hearing about in the past 6 months. The new boom town phenomenon is happening, and we happens to have a number of properties that we're selling in those so-called new boom towns, or those smaller cities within the centralized location of the big higher level boom markets. Like the boom town, they will have all the, for example, in Texas, we're talking in San Antonio is a boom town, and then we're talking like the Austin metro, in which we are promoting several smaller cities outside Austin, where we have new constructions. Those smaller cities, such as New Braunfels, Kyle, Texas, and Temple, Texas, and a few other communities, within 50 to 75-mile radius of, inner core Austin, right? So in Florida, the little boom towns, we're talking like, Palm Bay and Kissimmee and Poinciana and Sabine, Florida, and then in Ocala, right? All those are smaller cities within the metro is new boom towns. And in Southwest Florida, there's a boom market, that corridor, that 50 to 75-meter radius. Southwest Florida is the definition is boom market. In boom town, we have entered into Lehigh Acres, then LaBelle, Florida, and then soon Port Charlotte is a new boom town within a larger metro in Southwest Florida. So that's where we have our new builders are building new constructions where you can buy lots. Does that make sense? Okay, you're learning something new, right? All right, let's continue. All right, and then the Great American Move is causing massive price appreciation from the Southwest and in the Southeast in many of the nation's robust housing markets. We just discussed that, right? And the home prices growth has upped the demand for land and clearly increasing pressure on prices. More than half of all the commercial brokers out there, the survey, they have reported that their finished lot prices, the lot that they purchase, are rising year over year in various markets, including Phoenix, Boise, Charleston, Charlotte, and
with markets like Nashville and Fort Myers, Florida, which is in Southwest Florida, that we are promoting. Cape Coral and Fort Myers and Lehigh Acres and LaBelle and Port Charlotte is part of the Fort Myers metro, all right? Registering strong land prices growth. So it's a good sign. And finally, buy land. They are not making it anymore. Okay, perhaps never has this, oh, it's a Mark Twain quote. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was Will Rogers. Mark Twain quote long time ago, as you know. She said, buy land, they're not making it anymore. And how true, right? So then it says, undeveloped land prices in A and B locations rose 6.9% year over year during the second quarter of 2020, and by 6% in C to D locations, up 5% from last year. Okay, that appreciation tells us that builders need additional land to be able to meet the demand for new suburban homes in more attainable price locations. So if rising undeveloped land and land prices are an indicator of future growth, look out for Phoenix and Inland Empire in the west, and Charlotte and Raleigh, Durham in the northeast, and then I might as well add the south and southeast, such as Texas and Florida, as part of this discussion where undeveloped land prices in some of these locations have risen more than 20%. So anyway, so getting back to normal, getting back to my view. So that's pretty much end my sort of a discussion of what's going on out there. So now you know. So let's recap. The recap is the new construction homes that we've been promoting actually for many years already within our network in the past 10 years, since 2010 actually, in many markets. But now in the current market environment, we see Florida and Texas where we are promoting many new constructions. You saw my video, you saw my newsletters. So, and the recap is you buy for cash flow right now. Yeah, our properties are cash flow very nicely in these two markets. When the new construction the completion time is around 4 to 6 months, maybe slightly longer depending on the builder. So you just buy the land. If you buy a $200,000 property, if the earnest deposit is like $5,000, see that $5,000 deposit you put in, you're really buying land. So you're a land mogul. You're a land baron. So you're buying land that are not speculative. You're buying land that already are being constructed to be a income producing asset for you for long-term growth. So when you lock into the land, to the housing price on that particular builder with a location, or whatever, whether it's 160,000 or 200,000, whatever, you lock in the price at the beginning. You pay the lot, you pay the deposit, you lock in the price, and then at phase one, most likely, right? And a lot of times the builder, because as I said, the high cost of construction, they can increase their prices. So you might receive, depending on the builder community, you might receive a incremental increases of prices during the construction of the home. For the next 4 to 6 months, you may see $1,000, $3,000 increase above and beyond your initial cost of the property you're paying for. And then by the time you close escrow 6 months later or whatever, then you get your property rented and all that, and everything will be fine. And then if a builder have a phase two, the phase two of that community build out is could be a higher cost, right? So that's what we see. What we see: high cost of construction, high cost of lumber we have to get, and the labor shortage, not enough construction workers, and the fast-growing areas. You buy in A- or B+ area, in the area that we are promoting, as you know, in Florida and Texas. You're in good shape. You lock in the price. You get some equity, sweat equity at the beginning, even before the house is completed. You're making money most of the time, and then when you get your house cash flow, then you're good to go, and you're going to be renting to a high-quality tenant that have stable jobs
the rental demand is very, very strong right now and moving forward, regardless of what happened with the economy or whatever negativity you may see out there. But the key is this is the there are more renters now. There are more tenants now than ever before in history, especially from what I've seen over the years that I've been doing this kind of business. So all the houses being rented very quickly because of those are very desirable locations, or they are in a path of growth into the suburban, into the small cities. There are people are migrating to from all over the country, from all over the world for that matter, into top-notch, fast-growing areas like Florida and Texas and a few other places. Okay, so that's all I have to say, but I'm just educating you some more that buying new builds, that buying new construction in fast-growing areas with good rental markets and good growth, and where the demand is so much greater to supply. As you know, there is a massive shortage of homes everywhere in the US. So home prices are rising, not lowering, regardless of what situation you might be hearing. So the future for landlord, the future for long-term investment, turnkey construction, rental properties are very, very, very bright for people out there. All right, for you out there. All right, that's all I have to say. So I hate to sound like a broken record, but the future is extremely bright. So for those of you that have the ability to get in early and pull the trigger, and you are the winners in this time frame. All right. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. So much. Good to see you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.